Laura, your singing bowls inspired me for this week's service because I always love the resonant sound that comes from them. And I used to do a lot more like toning and chanting. And so I just thought last week it would be nice to kind of talk about how toning and chanting can get into that same kind of space with the resonant sound and the vibration and healing. So I created a little presentation for this week. So does anybody want to share a little prayer opening or anything like that before we launch into all that? I'm not the biggest prayer opening kind of person, so I can just go right into sharing about that if you guys want. Yeah? Okay. I'm going to share my screen if that works, Nikki, if you've got that enabled. Let me get the PowerPoint up. And I don't know how to do both of these, so hang on, bear with me for a second. I don't know how to, let's see if that works. Okay, can you guys see that? Yeah? Okay.
Yep.
Good, good. Okay, so we're all pretty familiar with the chakras, right? So there are these bija mantras, which are like the seed sounds for these, and I've got them listed here. The bija mantras are tools to help activate channels for specific frequencies of sound vibrations in the body, heart, and mind. In meditation practice, bija mantras are often used to calm and focus the mind, stabilize the flow of prana, and harmonize the 5 elements. On the energetic level, these vibrations stimulate specific points and energy centers on the body to open up and release blocked energies and bring the 7 chakras in balance. Similar to singing bowls, which many are familiar with, toning can create a resonant tone. One way to create this is to begin with practicing toning Om. Om can be said to consist of 3 parts: Ah, U, And when we practice toning by focusing on all 3 sounds one at a time, that is one way to practice that can help create the resonance mentioned. Then the Om sound becomes the seed within each seed sound of the bija mantras for each chakra. So let me go back for just a second. That Om sound, I'll just practice it and see if you can kind of pick up going through all 3 of those sounds. Om. Could you kind of hear going through all 3 of those sounds when I did that? It's really subtle, like to break it up. But if you think about it in your mind when you're trying it, when you're practicing it, the o, all together. And there's a new face. Hi. Nice. Anyway, I would love if people wanted to try and practice it together, doing that sound. If you any of you are into it, you don't have to if you don't want to. But again, it's the ah, ooh, and you're trying to blend them all together, but you're when you think about it in your mind, it does help you create that resonant tone. So ready? Okay, get in a nice comfy position. Is anybody else toning?
We're losing you at the end of it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I
Yeah.
think it's trying to filter it out.
Yeah.
Can I say something real quick?
Of course, yeah.
One of my teachers, my Tibetan bowl teacher, whenever we would meet, she would do the Om hug. And if you hug someone with your heart chakras together and both say the Om, you can feel the vibration
Oh yeah.
between both of you. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I was a tantra practitioner, so I did a lot of like toning with people and like, having hand on heart and like feeling that, and would do a lot of toning circles and stuff too back in the day. Yeah, so this Om is kind of the center of the rest of the bija mantra tones, going back to this list. So it's lam, vam, ram, yam, hum, om. And some people consider like the crown chakra having like a silence, but some people think of doing om for both the third eye and the crown chakra. And I do that, and I kind of feel the vibration shift when I think of it that way. It's personal preference and how you want to do it. But does anyone else have any experience doing any toning or chanting like this, or like taking a yoga class where they work with these sounds or anything like that?
I love it. I love chanting together. It's so powerful with sound. Thank you.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Thanks, Sally. I had a feeling you might have experienced this before, Sally.
I practice kirtan, so I do a lot of chanting locally
Nice.
in Atlanta. It's a large community, so.
Awesome. I missed who said that.
It was
I
Yvonne.
think that was Yvonne.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Cool. Yeah, I can't see everyone's face at one time. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
no worries.
Very cool. Okay. Well, I was thinking it would be great to just kind of go through these one at a time. And again, I would love anyone to just join in and just try it out and actually see how that feels when it's kind of resonating and like vibrating your body and connect in. Again, your choice, but hopefully some will join in. So when I learned this from my first yoga teacher, to start off, we would say each seed sound like 3 times, kind of like warming up in our toning, and then we would let the fourth one really expand and resonate. So that goes something like lum 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 lum, and that wasn't my best example, but so I'm going to do that for each of the chakras. And again, would love for people to join in. I should have put the sound in here with the slides and I spaced that off, but the root chakra sound is basically lum. So start off with the 3 short ones and then the fourth one being long. Lum, 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 lum. And did the Mike actually pick up the resonance on that one? Dan?
Almost.
Oh, so sorry. I did practice this last night, hoping that it would come across. Nikki, will you just double check that your settings are also the same and see if the host having the settings the same might help at all? Okay. So the next chakra, the sacral chakra, is connected with the element of water and represents fluidity and flow, movement and aliveness. And the sound is VUM. So VUM, 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 VUM. Again, not my best example there, but and I always love looking at the mandalas that go with these as well, which I should have talked about on the first one, but the symbology in them is always really interesting to kind of learn a little bit about, like what it means. So the root chakra, the one before the lum, is again like, you know, your root. It's element of earth is connected to it. It's all about like the body, the physical form. You can see the direct translation, you know, connecting to like the base or foundation. And the 4-petal lotus symbolizing the 4 aspect of consciousness, the mind, the intellect, consciousness, and ego. And I'm intentionally not pronouncing these Vedic terms and doing it badly because I don't want to be disrespectful, but we can all read them. And then on the sacral chakra, the 6-petal lotus is associated with qualities to overcome and to purify. So anger, jealousy, cruelty, hatred, pride, and desire. And also connected to circles of the cyclical nature, birth, death, rebirth. Always fascinating. Okay. So the third one, the solar plexus chakra, connected with the element of fire, represents energy, power, determination. And the translation, the roots are like jewel and city or place. And the 10-petal lotus representing the 10 pranas that in the yogi tradition represent basically, you know, these different currents and vibrations. And they call them 5 pranas and 5 upa pranas. So the sound for the solar plexus is rum. So we'll do the 3 and then the tone and join in if you want. So rum, rum, rum. And then we've got the heart chakra. And I always love the sound. It's yum. So I always think of like yumminess when I remember that. And the heart chakra is connected with the air element and the qualities of love, relation, connection, and compassion. And the mandala has the 12 petals of the lotus flower in it. And they're associated with the 12 divine qualities of the heart: peace, bliss, love, harmony, empathy, understanding, purity, clarity, compassion, unity, forgiveness, and kindness, which is just beautiful to keep in mind. So again, it's yum for the heart chakra. So we'll just do the yum, 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 and then the fourth one, prolonged. Yum, 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 yum. Hopefully you're getting some of the resonance that's coming through on that. And then the fifth, the throat chakra, connected with the ether element, about communication, authenticity, purification. And this is 16-petaled lotus. And it's associated with the 16 vowels of Sanskrit, which is interesting. And of course, the throat chakra is about communication and like our ability to connect in. So one of the things that I should have mentioned earlier is I have used toning as a way to read people and also myself. So when I am toning in this way, I can get a reading, like if my voice cracks. So I'm out of practice and I'm like recovering from a long-term chronic health issue. And I'm noticing when I'm getting back into this practice, there's a lot of like my voice cracking in different places. And for me, in my abilities, like that's okay, there's stuff there, there's stuff to work through there. And doing this toning, there's an actual like vibration in the body that you can connect. And there was a study, and I had that connected last night. I don't know if I actually put it in the things in the slideshow here, but they did a study, and toning, like cats purring, is healing. Toning can actually be healing, and it's really good for your vagus health nerve as well, just to share that. So the throat chakra sound is hum, which obviously seems very appropriate in our English language here. So we'll go through and do the 3 short hums and then the 4th one prolonged. Here we go. Hum, 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 hum. And at the end there, I could hear my voice kind of breaking, and that's like giving me a sign like, hey, there's stuff to work on with your voice again. Be like, yeah. Did anyone else notice any quivers or anything when you're trying it? I know Sally's trying it there. Yeah, Laura?
I've been doing it too, yes, and I do feel it. It feels good.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So then the third eye chakra, it's associated with the dimension of light and represents a center of gravity and wisdom and the awakening of the pineal gland. So the name of it in Sanskrit is ajna, and that translates to command, which refers to the higher understanding and wisdom that guides us. So the symbol, the mandala, is the 2 petals of the third eye, and it symbolizes the duality between the self and God, which is lovely. So when we do the third eye, it's Om, just Om is the sound. And so we'll do that now with the 3 short ones and the 4th one prolonged. Om, 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 om. And again, the crown chakra, some people practice it as a silent, without sound, and some people will envision the Om sound starting in the third eye and then shifting up to the crown. And the crown is associated with space or nothingness, but also the cosmos. And it represents self-transcendence, oneness. So that's the connection with the cosmos, merging with the infinite source of creation. And this mandala is the 1,000-petaled lotus. And the 1,000 petals represent the connection to the divine and unity with other beings and the universe, which I always really love seeing that one. Any other thoughts, questions about any of that?
Thank you. Woo-hoo.
Anyone else ever, like besides Sally and I and Laura a little bit, I heard of Vaughn. Anybody else ever practiced with these before?
Quite a bit in different circles.
Nice. I figured there'd be more. Lovely.
I think it's a great exercise. Thank you for presenting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your
Yeah.
slides are beautiful too.
Thanks.
We
Yeah.
often
Yeah.
have used it in when we're visiting sacred sites.
Nice.
We do some om sounds.
Yeah. I thought it would be nice after going through them one at a time to, if whoever wants to participate, to actually just go through them all together in a row without stopping and talking about them in between. And it will give anybody who hasn't kind of joined in on the practice to maybe take the leap and try it out and see how it feels and resonates. So when we do this and go through them, we'll again do the 3 short sounds, the 4th one long, and then we'll take a nice big breath in between each chakra to kind of fill our lungs up to go into the next sound. Does that sound good?
B, should everybody be unmuted?
I mean, it's up to you all. I mean, I'd love to hear your voices on this if you want to share. I think it's great, but you know, you don't have to have your sound on if you're not comfortable with it. That's what I want to say about that. Okay. So if you're gonna participate, just get in a nice, comfortable space. And Dolly, you were one of
Yes.
my inspirations for this because I had mentioned these to you before as a way to work with energy and help move energy, and offered to share them. And I was like, why don't I just share them with everybody in case anyone
Yes.
wasn't familiar? Yeah. So just wanted to mention that too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So get in your nice, comfy places so that you can really breathe well. And we're going to take 3 breaths together, and then we're going to start with the first sound. So in through the nose, out through the mouth, second. Third. It's a good yawn, somebody. It's good. And then the 4th, and we're going to start on the sounds after the inhale. Lum, 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 lum.
Happy.
Vam 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 vam. Rum 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 rum. Yum 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 yum. Hum, hum, hum. This is good. I heard you guys breaking through. I love it. Thanks for sharing that with me. This is something I was really enjoyed doing. So it's been really nice to talk to you all about that. Anyone want to share anything about how that felt for you?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to take a screenshot of this. I don't know how to do that.
It's control, and then there's usually a key upper right that's print screen, PRTSCR. So if
Okay,
you
just
hit control and
okay,
then print
just okay. I'm having trouble hearing. So control and what?
there's usually a button in the top row, usually upper right. It's print screen, and it could be just PRTSCR. And so if you hit control and then print screen, then you can open up like Paint or Word, and you can paste it into that document and keep it. But I can also send you the slide if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. And I'll take a picture of it. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
There, that'll work.
Anyone else want to share how that felt to do that if you participated?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Katrina. Do you want to say something?
Oh, sure. Thanks, Laura.
Katrina's a friend of mine.
Hi, everyone.
Nice.
So it felt really nice. I can actually feel the vibrations in my body when we were doing it with each one. It just felt really
My hearing.
Lovely. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Have you worked much with these at all in the past, Katrina?
with the chakra, like all the
Mhm.
time with chakras.
Yeah, with the sounds though.
But the sounds, I've done it some with the Buddhist monk who is having me do that. I'm into pranic healing sometimes, so they do some of the toning. It is just a really nice feeling, and you can definitely feel it breaking up different things as you do it. So it's lovely. I love it.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anyone else? How did that feel to in your body when you were doing it?
I
Laura?
did too. I could feel it all through my body. That felt really good. Feels almost as good as when I do my bowls right in my face.
Yes.
And I have a bowl right here next to me. Katrina visited yesterday, and we had a great time. She does sound healing also with bowls
Nice.
and stuff, and we have a lot in common. But something I wanted to share real quick was when I teach Reiki, which I had been teaching quite a bit. I also give out. I don't know if you can see this.
Oh yeah.
What it says, crown chakra, I understand. The third eye, I see. The throat chakra, I speak. The heart
Mhm.
chakra, I love. The solar plexus, I do. The sacral, I feel. And the root, I am.
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
That's really wonderful.
I
I
like
love
that.
Yeah, thank you. And Katrina, I'd like to put you in touch with my grandson, who just had an experience this week of sound bathing. And he went to a store that sells mattresses. And they did sound healing in that store, and it was beautiful and absolutely touched him deeply. He's a musician, and he just got his first home, and he has a sound room. So
Wow.
I'd like to put you in touch with him. I think you could maybe give him some tips.
I would love that.
Nice.
Thank you.
So Charlie, did he go in for a mattress or for the sound healing?
Got a bonus.
Well, he kept, he said the facilitator was almost glowing, and it was the guy that owns the shop, and that he kept waiting for a commercial, buy a mattress, make it, do something. It never happened.
That's funny.
I
Yeah.
love that. I was thinking, Bee, sometimes when I gather with my shadow work facilitators, I'll do a meditation in the 4 directions to connect them with the energies of each of those 4 archetypes we work in shadow work.
Yeah.
And I thought these chakras, what a great, because I meditate in the morning. I to the very best of my ability, start my day in prayer and meditation, which sometimes means journaling, sometimes it means breathing, sometimes it means facing the directions. I'd love to add this, just the
Yeah.
kind of clearing out in the morning.
Just to share, there's
and
so many good videos on YouTube of people doing these toning mantras. So you could go on there and find a lot of really great ones to connect with on a solo practice. And then once you're more used to it, just doing it even on your own. I love that.
If you've ever heard of Doreen Virtue, she has a CD that she has a morning chakra clearing meditation and an evening chakra clearing meditation.
Nice. I wonder if she's on YouTube too. I wonder if she did
Maybe.
anything and put anything out. That's cool.
Yes. Cheers.
Nice.
But I'd like to be able to do it myself.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the sound, like if I could have a sound bath, if someone would come and give me a sound bath, that'd be ideal. But
Yeah.
my second is to do the Om. It's to focus on each of the chakras. I was trained to call them chakras. I guess it depends on where you're trained, but for me to go through the sound of each chakra and clear it, that's what
Yeah.
I'm for. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've worked with these a lot, toning other people, and could sometimes get reads on people doing that as well. So like when I was in a very healthy space and like I felt very clear, if I was toning someone else, I would sometimes hear a break or feel something like it's almost like a bounce back from them, because I would do it very close to their body. So like, they'd be on a massage table, face down, and I would like tone near each of the chakras and just, I would feel that, which was really interesting. Yeah.
Or if
When
you,
we went to sacred sites, we always started with an Om. And I don't know if you know Chalice well. It's well, not yet. No, now I'm thinking of
That's in Glastonbury.
Little Walsingham. Are you familiar with the Little Walsingham? It's a place where the Holy Mother appeared, and some magical things happened there. And people, Richard Lionheart and thousands of people used do pilgrimages to this little Walsingham. So we as a group went there one morning, and it's now they built a little church there. And it said in the church, please be quiet, respect our quiet, and so forth. So I brought the group and we went, opened the altar rail, went into the sanctuary, and we started doing ohms. And then I noticed, uh-oh, we're breaking the rules, and there's a nun sweeping the floor. But we continued to go on. It didn't seem to bother her at all. So after we're through, I found out that the nun was deaf.
Oh,
That was quite a risk for a Catholic boy, Charlie. If you were Catholic, I commend your bravery.
Yeah, especially with nuns. They were. I grew up with 9 years of parochial school training. And one time when I appeared before a magistrate, was a woman wearing a black gown robe and standing up high. I froze. I couldn't present my face.
Well, if you ever
Hey,
decide to buy a singing bowl, look for one like this, which has the lip on the bottom of it, because you can hold it and sing it and go right down all of your chakras, all the way down. And I love this bowl for that reason, that it's called a pedestal bowl.
It's
Okay.
lovely.
Hang on to that, sing it,
Mm.
and go right down each one of the chakras. And I do that all the time.
Laura, I'm going to go look at our bowls right now to see if they have that lip. I don't think they do. I love that.
Most places that sell bowls do have those. And I wanted to tell a cute story about the last conference that we had in Arizona. When I was coming home, I think Paul, was it Paul? Were you with me? Somebody was with me. I was in a wheelchair, and the man who was pushing my wheelchair was, I knew he was from that part of the world, Tibet. And I know the 3 provinces because the bowls are shaped, you can tell which province they're from. It's Bhutan, Nepal, and Tibet. And you can tell by the shape of the bowl which one they're from. And so I don't know how we got on the subject. Well, I asked him where he was from, and he said, I'm from the Himalayas. And I said, oh, which province? And he looked at me kind of funny, like, how did you know there were provinces? And he said, Bhutan. And I go, oh, Bhutan. I have 2 bowls, 2 Tibetan singing bowls from Bhutan. And he looked at me with wide eyes and said, you know of Bhutan? And so when we got to the destination, I said, and what is your name? I had never seen his name tag because he was behind me. His name was Om.
wow.
Cool.
Isn't that
Beautiful.
cool?
That's really cool.
Yeah, I couldn't
love it.
believe it. His name was Om.
Wow.
I wanted to share with you all that I found the link. There's this about in the study of chanting Om, and they did like MRI scans and like, you know, looked at the frequency that is produced and the healing benefits. So the link is in the chat to that study that was published on the National Library of Medicine site, just to share.
Interesting.
Yeah. Has anyone else ever had any experience with like reading chakras and like being able to help people, you know, identify where blockages are and things like that?
I had a woman one time, one of my first patients when I was doing hospice care. They had just retired, the couple, and she had cancer and she was in hospice, and her husband was constantly telling her to fight to get better. They had all these trips they were going to go on and everything. And when I would go to do Reiki on her throat chakra would
Yes.
be on fire
Yeah.
because he wasn't listening to her
Yeah.
when she kept telling him, I'm not going to get better. I'm not going to get better.
Yeah.
And just, let me go. And then I would do Reiki on him afterwards, and his ears would be on fire. He wasn't listening to her. And when I left
Mhm.
that day, I'm like, wow, this stuff really works. It was very interesting.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Katrina,
Anyone
can
else?
you? Yeah, Katrina is doing pranic healing. I took a couple of classes. Can you describe the clearing of the chakras and the aura?
Oh, it's so much. I'm still kind of new to it. I know there's different techniques they have of using light to clear like the different parts of you, like sweeping your aura. But as far as like the chakras go, oh my gosh, there's just so many different things they tell you about it and how they affect different parts of your body as far as like with healing. So when I'm doing energy clearing, it's something different. I really end up kind of mixing Reiki with the pranic healing, and the energy is still the same, where it comes from. So I can just tell you from like really my experience, like when we're clearing, I, can usually tell like where a blockage is, but as far as healing goes, there's this thing where you kind of have a person give you an idea. They have several blockages. You ask which is the most prominent, and you have them give a voice to the blockage. You have them give a color to it and a texture and all that sort of stuff. And as you heal it together, it's amazing sometimes. For example, issues from childhood come up and you feel where people are not feeling worthy. And you find it goes all the way back, but it affects their relationships now. Just clearing it with different types of light. White, if you don't really know what you're doing so much, because I know with the pranic healing, there's different vibrations that each light carries. Like the light blue is for like sealing and cleansing like different things, but it's a journey. It definitely is a journey. I find that no matter how long you're on it, there's always something totally new that you're learning. For example, Laura blew my mind yesterday, and she's someone who we've known each other for years, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm going to be learning with you again. She's my mentor with other things. So yeah.
Love it.
Thank you.
Does anyone ever work with a pendulum?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can do this over people's chakras, and you can tell if there's blockages with this as well. It's another tool that you can use to help identify. Yeah.
Yeah, Arnold Michael used to use a pendulum when he was writing the newsletter called Madonna Ministry. Would verify what the truth was for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Is everyone familiar with ways to kind of work with these? Like you can hold it over your hand and you can focus on yes, and it'll show you what it does for you to indicate yes, and then you focus on no and you'll see that. So for me with the chakras, when it's going around clockwise on its own really well, that means that the chakras are really open. And then when it just goes back and forth or stalls or does some weird squiggles, that there's kind of something going on there. Yeah.
What I do with that is when I do a Reiki session, I check each chakra with the pendulum. And then if I find one that is closed, I'll put a bowl on it. Because I have a bowl that for each chakra. And I lined them up on a website that has a sound for each chakra. So I got a bowl for each chakra. And then I'll put that bowl on that chakra and sing it And usually it works. Usually I'll go back and check it again and it's open.
Yeah, it's definitely a helper. And these bija seed sound mantras, if you don't have the bowls, you can use those sounds to help assist, like self-healing and with other people, for sure.
And if you went on the Reiki Association, the National Reiki Association website, they have a peace grid, a world peace grid that they
Aw.
sell. I showed it to Katrina yesterday. I have one, but my friend made it for me. And it has the symbols of all the world religions in it in a circle, and a crystal for each one, and a big crystal in the middle for peace. And you hold the pendulum over the middle crystal and it starts spinning, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it's going around all the outside crystals. It's amazing. I'm getting chills just telling you about it. It's amazing.
Wow. Nice.
Well,
Now,
long before I learned even Reiki, I
Mhm.
learned scanning with my hands. And I was scanning my partner, and my teacher, fortunately, was standing very close to me. And I got to the kidneys and empty space. And I'm like, uh-oh. So I whispered to my teacher, "There's no kidney there." And the girl heard me. She said, "That's because I don't have one." But I was like, oh, I felt that, but I could feel the energetic kidney that should have been there. So that was kind of like, oh, okay, my hands can do this. And then years ago, Sally and I joined something called the Sisterhood of Avalon, and the priestess did a totally different kind of toning, and we put somebody on the floor, and all of us did these tones, and one of them was, I can't remember them all now, but that girl actually levitated off the floor while we were working on her, and we were all dumbfounded. This lady was so amazing. Unfortunately, I don't think the organization went anywhere. I did join them, and because she said I was very connected to Avalon, which I am. But it was just totally different tones than the chakra tones. But there
Yeah.
were like 12 of us, and when she started floating, we all freaked. Fortunately, we didn't drop her. So yeah,
did she drop down when you stopped?
she slowly went down. Yeah, she didn't get that high off the floor, but she was floating, and none of us was touching her. That was the even more amazing thing. Because you know how
Yeah.
when you're in Catholic school, you do the 2-finger thing and you pick people up. We weren't touching her. We were nowhere near her, and she's floating. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is powerful.
Yeah.
That's my
You know,
early.
I love music, and I often wake up with a song. And if I start singing, Bobby joins me, and it puts you in a different vibration. It lifts you out of bed, literally.
Yep.
I used to, when I was doing healing work, I was sensitive, so I didn't need sound. I just use, like you would say, Reiki today, Reiki. And I could tell where the blockages were. And I could help dissolve them. It was marvelous. So there's so many modalities to healing and
Absolutely.
process. Yeah.
Hmm. Nice.
And by the way, I'm reading a book was written by a woman doctor who was 102 years old. And I saw her interviewed at 103, so I got her book. She's considered to be the mother of holistic health. She's now 103, and she's got a 10-year plan.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Bless her.
yeah, well, the first time she had cancer, a tumor, through whatever visualization, however she got rid of it. And then, but when she was in her 90s, she had breast tumors. And so she went with Western medicine on that. But what a life she's led, and all the people she's helped, and how she moved Western science into being more open to other modalities of healing. Her name
Nice.
is Gladys McGarvey, Dr. Gladys McGarvey, and her book is called Well Lived Life.
Nice.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for going on this little journey of talking about the chakras and doing a little toning and chanting today. Nice. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank
Well
you.
done, B. I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
All right. So next week we have Terry coming back to do a teaching on presence and guided meditation, taking us through her journey as she works with animals as well as humans. And then the week after is Sally B. You're going to be doing our Easter presentation. Do you want to talk a
Nice.
little bit about that, or just give us a sneak peek?
Wonderful.
Yeah, and Nikki, I gave you a couple other referrals if you need them, right?
Yeah.
For speakers.
Yeah, we've got a couple openings in April.
Okay.
So I thought I was still on the fence, but now I'm committed.
I put you in the calendar.
So, I would love, I'll put my phone number. People are welcome to text me. What I was going to do for Easter is talk about the origin of, really the pagan origin of the names that are associated, and the equinox and the solstices and that kind of thing. So, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how they got the Easter Bunny involved in that too.
Yeah, I'm going to refer to you. I'm going to refer to you when the Easter
The
Bunny.
fairy
I'm
tales.
referring to you. Tell us about the Easter Bunny. I think it's fertility.
Yeah, but I think there must be some kind of a connection there
Fertility.
between. Yeah, because they are obviously rabbits.
They're prolific, and spring is
Yeah.
about fertility. So there's
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Wasn't
used
it
to
the
call
goddess Esther?
Mhm. Yeah.
Esther.
Esther.
That's
But yeah.
right.
That's great. Yeah.
Stara.
so maybe that explains why I used to call Bobby Honey Bunny. How you doing, Honey Bunny?
Overshare. That's what we call an overshare.
TMI.
I'm sure Bobby is a prolific creator of many things.
And Dolly has a new name. I ordained her JD. She's a descended master. I call her JD. That means Jolly Dolly. It's like Jolly
Yeah.
Dolly.
Jolly Dolly.
And so for today, St. Patrick's Day, may your troubles be less and your blessings be more, and nothing but happiness come through your door.
Oh,
Beautiful. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Oh, it's great.
And may you be in heaven 15 minutes before the devil knows you're dead. Amen.
Okay.
Thanks
I
for
will be
joining.
around there.
That's the sense of humor my Irish family has. Yeah.
Thanks for joining, Katrina.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
nice meeting
Appreciate you
you.
coming.
Back.
And
Yeah.
Katrina, be sure I get your contact information, Katrina, somehow.
Oh, absolutely.
I have it.
Feedback. I love these meetings. I love meeting like-minded people. This has been great.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Come back.
We'll hope
Thank
to see
you.
you again.
Back. You're
Yeah.
always welcome.
Yeah, let us know when you want to lead a service, Katrina.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you ever feel inspired.
Hey.
To be.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Dee.
you all.
Have a
Thank
wonderful
you,
week.
everybody.
Good luck on Friday,
Bye.
Carrie.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good luck.
Good
Bye-bye.
luck.
Take care.
Bye.